to know your zodiac is to know that you were born at a specific time, place, and everything by design. So that you
Wow.
could evolve to be the best version of yourself. But
Damn, we're working so hard and I created a human. I think I could do more.
something about women when they find their freaking power and they're pregnant, something in your veins is like, wait, if I can do
Flows.
this shit, I can do anything.
Our intuition is like no other as women, and we ignore it. I always tell people, like, when you get butterflies in your belly over something or your heart starts to race, that's a sign that you should stop and pause and ask yourself why.
It actually wasn't until a few years ago that I started to take spirituality, mindset, identity really seriously,
Yeah.
understanding the neuroscience behind it.
Ooh.
And then once I understood that and implemented it into my life, that's when I started to see miracles. Michelle Grant,
Liz Kennedy.
mother, entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, and the woman behind one of the most viral brands currently, Get Gorgy. Who are you and why are you the way you are?
Oh, goodness.
Loaded question.
Such a loaded question. But honestly, one I love to answer. You know, I'm a girl that was raised in rural Pennsylvania, and I always tell people I'm the daughter of two Indian immigrant parents that raised me on Green Hill Court in the cornfields of America, where there was one Indian family. It was mine. And so I really kind of grew into the world trying to acclimate and be like everybody else around me. Was a lot of my childhood was like, how do I fit in? What should I eat? What should I wear? How should I act? It was a lot about conforming.
Sure.
And brands like were the way that I conformed, like the stories that brands told when you put them on. Ralph Lauren, it's luxury. Nautica, it's yachting, it's boating, it's all these amazing stories. They were like my childhood stories. I just fell in love with brand and the way that brands made me feel a part of a community. And I think that, you know, for so much of my life, I thought doctor, lawyer, investment banker, because that's what
Indian
daughters
culture,
of Indian immigrant parents
Jewish,
do.
yeah, for sure, same.
Yeah. And so that was, you know, the first 25 years of my life were about conforming and trying to be one of those three things.
Sure.
And one day I just woke up in New York City and called my dad and was like, look, I'm in law school. It's week 2 and I'm out.
I'm miserable.
I just love brand. I want to go back to the city and find,
Was he
you know,
cool with
my
it or
unique-
not at all?
It was amazing. He was
Nice.
like, I just want you to be happy. It was like this
Aw, what a
unspoken
great
conversation we've
dad.
never had. So yeah, I think a lot of who I am is an internal optimist. I'm very glass half full. In fact, glass half overflowing, you know, and I believe in love and romance. I am just like a Disney story in my
Stop, I
mind.
love
Like I
you.
just really want to see like the greatness and the beauty of the world. And I think most of my life now is about thanking God and the universe for this journey.
It's funny, before we got on camera, I was asking Michelle, I was like, oh, you're such a manifester. You know, she was saying that I don't really know how to manifest and I don't, but Indian culture is very, very spiritual. Actually, a lot of my followers are from India because
Oh.
they're so invested in spirituality.
Amazing.
So you have manifested your entire life from your marriage to your kids to your business.
Yeah.
When you were younger, did you, because I grew up in upstate New York, so
Yeah.
I was also one of like, I think 4 Jewish families, and I felt like I was constantly trying to find ways to build community and
Right.
fit in. I was finding ways that I was manifesting at a young age, not knowing it was manifestation.
Yeah.
Were there moments in your life when you were younger that you envisioned or saw what your life would look like, what kind of company you had? Did you have those moments? And if so, what did it look like for you?
I would say I never saw like grand visions, but I had this like insane curiosity. So, you know, I have like, now I look back and I think about like me riding my bike in my neighborhood with like all the other kids in the neighborhood, but always thinking about like, what are the adults talking about? And I remember like the moms in the neighborhood would call my family and be like, your daughter just hangs out in the kitchen. Cause I just wanted to hear what they were talking about. Like I was always just like gravitating towards adult circles and adult conversations for whatever reason. And then at the age of 14, like I literally told my mom, I'm like, it's time, I need to go make money. Like the day that I turned 14, I was like, I wanna get a job, I wanna make money. Then it turned into, I actually wanna go to a different high school than my siblings. Like I wanna experience the city, and like took 2 buses to get there. Then it turned into me trading lunch money to actually buy tickets to go to New York City on a bus. Like I just always was trying to find like more, and I didn't know what I was looking for, but I was just like gravitating towards energy and possibility, I would say is probably the narrative of what I was seeking. I never was like, you know, I remember my brother was like, oh, I like Donald Trump or entrepreneurship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. Me was more so like, what else is out there? It was like peeling an onion. I just wanted to know more.
What sign are you?
I'm a raging Leo.
Oh my God, you're such a Leo. That's so funny. I love that. I love when people like also know, because
Yes.
I'm a Cancer and I'm such a Cancer.
Yes.
So it's really funny when people are like very self-aware, and yeah, I
Yes.
love Leos. They are Leos, for those who don't know, Leos are the natural entrepreneurs of the zodiacs.
Wow.
They're the leaders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should know that. Yeah.
I'm learning
you are
so
about to
much
be
today,
sick of
you
me. I'm going to
guys.
be sending you so much stuff. Be like, Michelle, look at this, read this, because it's so true. It's essentially the blueprint of your soul. Now, because of free will, you can
Yeah.
do whatever you please.
Right.
But to know your zodiac is to know that you were born at a specific time, place, and everything by
Wow.
design. So that you
Wow.
could evolve to be the best version of yourself. But the zodiac, when you really get into it,
Yeah.
it really gives you the blueprint of who you are.
I love it.
And it's really fun.
I love it.
Okay, so very
I
interesting.
see this. I see this.
I'm like the manifestation queen that doesn't know
the unknown.
the unknown,
The unknown.
which is
But
so
isn't that
cool,
the
'cause then you
beauty?
have the time to get
Yeah.
into it.
For sure.
Talk to us about growing up. What was something that you deeply, deeply struggled with that you felt really alone in,
Yeah.
that allowed you to kind of come out of that darkness to find the path that you're on now?
Yeah, I think, I always struggled with I think growing up, you always go to different people's houses. People come to your house, but our house was so different, right? Like my parents both worked. My mom was like an amazing mother, but she would get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning to go to a job in New Jersey, and then come home and was so tired. My dad would get home at 8, and it's like we didn't have this type of like home where like everyone sat down for dinner, and did homework after school and so forth. We found our independence, me and my siblings, like pretty young, but at the same time, both of my parents, they were so in love with each other. So like my childhood memories were always like going to church and them holding hands in the car. But then during the week, we didn't have that like nucleus of time that I would see everybody else having. So like I always wanted like that kind of like Wonder Years kind of vibe where it's
Yeah.
like the all-American family. And then you
Yeah.
come home and you do your school and your mom's like making dinner and it smells so
Are you
delicious.
like that with your kids now?
My husband is very much like that now.
Beautiful.
Like he's always like, what are we gonna have for dinner? What are the sports? What is the homework? And like to see that evolve and be my life now is so incredible. And to see that like the 4 of us, the Grant family, is like this nucleus that, I always tell my kids, nothing else matters besides family. Like
Facts.
nothing. And love is honestly the greatest gift. And I think like early in my 20s, I realized that love over everything is the one thing that I want to succeed at.
So interesting, because what you desired as a child, you ended up getting later
Yeah.
on. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Your first company, Lively,
Yes.
why did you start that? Because it's so different than Get Gorgy. It's
Yeah.
two different. I mean, it's still consumer product goods, but it's two very different verticals. Why did you even
Totally.
start that?
Yeah. I mean, Gorgy is like such a shock still to me. I'm like, I can't believe I have an energy
Yeah, I'm
drink
like,
company
wait,
and
I have so
love
many
it.
questions. I'm like, where do we? I'm like, let's start
love
from the
it.
first company.
Yeah.
Why you even started that?
So, I mean, I think to kind of go back a little bit, when I graduated from college, I wanted to go to New York at all costs.
Same.
And so like I literally graduated and drove a U-Haul, like windows down from Pittsburgh
I
to
love
New
that.
York.
You're like, I'm coming in hot.
Yeah, stopped in Pennsylvania, picked up some gear from
Yeah,
my
with
parents'
no
house.
money. Those were the
No
best
money.
days too.
Oh my
Looking back,
gosh.
it's so fun.
Nothing. Yeah, like had to ask my first job to get me roommates because I
Yeah.
had no friends
Yeah.
either and lived in like the armpit of Hoboken.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with New York City, like in love with it so much, and loved going to work, loved being in Federated where I was building brands for Macy's and Bloomingdale's, which effectively was like typing purchase orders until 10 p.m. at night. And then went to VF Corporation and saw Nautica and Kipling and all these brands just like walking down the streets of New York and across America. I loved it. The beauty happened when I went to Victoria's Secret. It was the first time I worked for a brand that was actually vertical, like what we created next to, on a piece of paper with a design team actually was in the stores, was actually walking down the runway, was actually on the billboard. So it was like from concept to customer, that journey was happening in real time. And I got to watch it and watch it soar to billions of dollars. Like Victoria's Secret, when I joined, the stock was like $860. And when
That's
I left, it was
crazy.
$65. Like it was just a rocket ship that had 30 to 40% market share of a $13 billion industry. So the reason I started my first company comes back to love. I met my husband when I was 25, 26 years old, and we finally decided to get married when I was 31.
Wow.
Yeah, so in 2011, I know, I'm so young.
But it's so cool that you didn't feel, I feel like a lot of people at that age felt significant pressure to do it quick, to do it fast.
Yeah,
And your love actually didn't feel the need. Well, real love doesn't feel the need to be pressured, pushed,
Right.
forced. You allowed it to just flow. So that
totally.
space was longer than average or typical, but
Yeah.
here you are.
Yeah. Well, we were also living in a studio for 5 years, just trying to survive in New York, like
Yeah.
through the post-financial crisis, right? He was at Bear Stearns. And we were just both building our careers and trying to like just figure out who we were while we were in love. And when we got married, I just remember my bosses from Victoria's Secret being at our wedding. Like these are like the icons of, my whole career. And it was so incredible to have them there. And then when I went back to work, I was looking at all of them with a new lens because now I was married. And I was like, well, a lot of them aren't still married. And a lot of them are not like solely connected with their children. They're not around enough to spend time with their family and their loved ones. And it goes back to like what I always wanted as a kid. Like, how do I have a life where I get to be with my husband and get to be with my family and like invest in that first?
So that's how Lively came to life, because you wanted something that you could.
To call my own shots on time and live a life of fulfillment.
But didn't you feel like as an entrepreneur building something like that, we end up working 7 days a week?
Oh, well, I was so ignorant. I had no idea. And I was like,
I'm like, wait a second, you ended up working your ass off even more.
I had no idea. I was like, look, if I'm going to work this hard, because I was always the girl that was like wanting to be last at work, like always trying to figure out. I'd go in on weekends and like come up with like ideas that I could present to my boss on Monday. I'm like, look what I came up with. I've had this idea. What do you think, etc. So for me at that point in my life, I looked at my husband and I was just like, look, I can see what this is going to be. Like, and this is great. Like, I'll make 7 figures. I'll have a 401k. I'll have stock in this company. We're going to live a really comfortable life. But I'm like, what if there's a greater life out there that we don't even know? Like, what is this startup world? And it was like the days at Warby and Harry's and all those things were just starting, and D2C, and like you could acquire a customer for $1 on Facebook just started to happen.
That was crazy for
It was crazy.
entrepreneurs.
But the conversation of like iPhones and social media just like wasn't allowed at Victoria's Secret at the time because we were a retail company. And I'm like, well, I got to go see the startup world and see what's happening in that side. And maybe there's a greater purpose for me. Maybe there's a more fulfilling life where I can have the greatest asset of all, which is time, on my side. And so I actually went and worked for Thrillist Media Group, which is burger, beer, and babes. And this girl click-clacking in her stilettos from Victoria's Secret got a job there. And it was all boys. Everyone was like in sneakers, having pickleback shots and like having the greatest time ever. And I'm like, I love it here.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what they're doing. And we were just printing money and creating content and commerce. And it was this like flexible, agile time of retail and content and social and digital. It was like this playground that nobody knew what the story was going to be.
Kind of like now with AI.
I would
AI equate it to the same, right?
It's like AI is like 10 times what that was. And that's why
agree.
I'm so excited about what's happening today.
Same.
So there I got the kind of confidence and the wherewithal to say, I think I can start my own company. I say I got my MBA in startup, because I was there for 3 years and I learned like a lot of how entrepreneurs thought. I was with Ben Lear. He showed me like decks from founders, like Outdoor Voices and Roan and all these things I got exposure to. And it showed me this whole other atmosphere of what if. And that's all that being a founder is having the confidence and the stomach to say like, what if?
Sure.
So finally in 2015, my 35th birthday, I stepped down that summer and I had my first child in 2014, Lydia. She was the reason, to be honest. Like I had her and my husband was working nights trading Japanese equities. And I would literally be in Soho on Prince and Broadway, jumping on the subway, meeting him at 7 p.m. at the subway station, trading a baby because he had to be at the desk, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, we're working so hard and I created a human. I think I could do more.
That's so funny you say I felt the same way. Because when I was pregnant is when I did my first capital raise.
See?
And I don't know something about women when they find their freaking power and they're pregnant, something in your veins is like, wait, if I can do this shit?
Yes.
I can do anything.
Anything.
I really felt that way.
Right?
And it was during the pandemic. I raised, it wasn't a lot at the
Right.
time, but $1 million for my company.
Still a lot.
And I had never raised money before, but something
Yeah.
about giving birth
Right?
during a pandemic and being like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Something ignited in my
More.
cells.
Right? It's amazing.
That's
right?
really cool.
Yeah, I just remember sitting there with her and, I tell her this all the time, Lydia and Lively's not a coincidence, that it's very similar to the word Lydia and her name, but we would just be sitting there and I'd literally be by a window. My husband's, trading till 1 or 2 in the morning and I would stare at her and just be like, I'm terrified at the idea of raising you, but somehow I'm figuring this out. And like her little hands and her little toes. And I'm
I
like,
felt the same way. I was so
I
like, what
just
do I do
can't
with this
believe
little
I
creature?
made you,
Yeah.
right? And
I
so I'm
know.
like, I never thought I would want to be a mother or be good at being a mom,
Same.
and I love it.
Same.
So like, what else do I not know? And that's where Lively came from. I was so fortunate. I met the family of the manufacturing company for lingerie that was like the largest manufacturing company for Walmart.
Nice.
And it's this incredible family that was my twin. Thinking about signs, right? Yossi Nasser lived on 73rd on the east side. I lived on 73rd on the west side. My daughter was Lydia. His daughter was Livia.
No freaking
We were born
way.
the same year.
No way.
We just like met and saw the world in the same way. And I was like, if you can build the factory, I can build the brand.
But why lingerie?
So my first role.
Because when you're pregnant and you give birth, you're not really like, yay, can't wait to be in lingerie.
No, not at all. My first role when I was at Federated, after my training program, I wanted ready to wear, and they put me in intimates, and I cried. I called my dad. I was like, my career is over. I am like in pajamas and undies and thongs. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I went to my first fitting, and the model comes out in a thong, but they called it pants because they weren't allowed to say panties.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so confused. Anyway, that first year, I realized I had the most profitable category in the company because it has the highest margin. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then when I was at Victoria's Secret, extremely profitable, very high margins. So when
Highest margins in
amongst apparel.
amongst apparel?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No freaking way.
Yeah, for sure. For
That's
sure.
so, I would never, ever expect that.
For sure. Yeah. And so then when, the idea of starting a company came to me, I was like, when I was at Victoria's Secret, I loved the brand and the concept so much, but the idea of other chapters of women were never shown.
Sure.
Right? It was only provocative. And it was
Sure.
only for men, right? Like, how do men see women?
Sure.
But like, where's the brand for how do women see women? And this was pre-Me Too movement. So the whole idea for Lively was like, I see social media. I see these women posting themselves all over America. Why can't we do that with a category that's supposed to be for us? So it's
I
like,
think Lively and that brand, I purchased a few things from Third Love.
of course,
I
Heidi,
think they did a great job as well.
amazing
Showing
job.
different stages, different skin tones, different bodies.
Totally.
Yeah, I think they also did a beautiful job like you.
Totally.
I thought it was really cool.
And that's kind of like where I found my power, which was like, there's these multi-billion-dollar industries where the legacy brands still have like the major foothold in terms of market share. But what if we told different stories and created a new need, a new avenue? And that was Lively. Lively only came about because, one, I saw a space in lingerie where I was like, there's only one story being told. Let's try and tell another. And then two, with social media, what if we actually built a brand asking what women want versus us telling them? Like, I don't even know what this category should be, but like, I shouldn't figure it out. I should just ask the women on social.
100%.
And so Lively was born by a statistic that I learned in focus groups. And these focus groups were like Airbnbs on the Bowery, like not fancy at all. But 60% of the time, women were wearing sports bras or swimwear, not working out, not swimming.
Shut up.
Yeah, because it was like, think about it, sports bra actually hugs your body. It's
Yeah.
so comfortable.
It's cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's made, without like the crazy wiring, which it's typically not.
Exactly.
This makes sense.
Yes. And so I met our creative director, Sarah, who's actually creative director for Gorgie now.
No way.
Yes.
That's cute. That's
Yeah.
nice that you guys stay together.
Totally. At a Bluestone, coffee shop in Bryant Park. And I'm like, I'm making this brand. I'm starting it. I don't know what it is. She was the neighbor of one of my best friends in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. And she's like, done. She's like, let's go create mood boards.
Why did you decide did you sell or white label? What'd you do with Lively and why were you done with it?
Oh, so that was Lively. That was building Lively. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
we
yeah.
started.
Yeah.
So Lively, we ended up selling, not because we wanted to, because someone walked into our office. So bankers came in and my partner, Yossi, was like, hey, He's like, Michelle, you gotta come.
Yossi?
Yeah.
I
He's
love
like,
that.
you
I
gotta.
mean, I'm half Israeli.
Yeah,
So
of course.
that's
He's like,
cute.
you got to come to this meeting in my office. I'm like, I have to focus on Lively. I have to
Yeah.
build it. And he's like, trust me.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this company is very interested in Lively. They're very interested in acquiring Lively. And I was like, we're not for sale. We were 3 years old. And then
Wow.
I was like, well, who is it? You know? And,
Yeah.
and we started to learn about Wacoal. And our first meeting, you know, was for me, I'm like, I just want to know who they are. Let's see if they're good people.
Sure.
And we went to our first meeting and the signs were all there. Our
No
first
way.
meeting was on 33rd in Madison, where Yossi and I first met, the same building.
No freaking way.
We got there. Of course, I'm late.
Yeah.
Him and I are both late. And then we look up. I'm like, do you believe this is the same building that we met in?
That's so cool.
And from there,
That's really
it was just
cool.
beauty. It was like they were such wonderful people. They
You
believed
really
in the
pay
mission.
attention to signs a lot. You pay attention. You've mentioned
for
it
sure.
like 6 times in our conversation
For
in
sure.
20 minutes.
For sure.
That's really cool.
Even when I went to Kyoto to meet the board of Wacoal, because they're public in Japan, they walked me through the museum from present to past. And when we got to past, like an hour into this tour, the founder of Wacoal had drawn what he was calling beauty and balance. And I kid you not, I had goosebumps from head to toe. It was our logo for
Which
Lively.
is-
It's just like inertia. It's like a beauty and balance logo. And I had it on the back of my phone case at the
Wait,
time.
that is so
And I was like,
crazy.
does anyone else see this? And I was like, this is done.
I have a necklace
This is
that's
done.
in, so that shape, by the way,
Yeah.
is also representative of 8.
Oh.
And 8 is symbolically the upper loop is towards the spiritual world and the bottom toward the physical, hence the infinity. And my great grandfather, that was one of the most famous Kabbalists
Yes.
on my father's side, that's
Right.
Moroccan.
Yeah.
He died on the 8th. So 8 is my number. And I'm moving into the 8th floor in my next building. So that's really cool.
There it is.
8 is in spirituality, it's like the highest, there is no higher ranking.
So beautiful.
That's really cool.
It's really cool.
Wow. Yeah, actually, I have a lot of Asian friends because I've always been in like the beauty spirituality
Yeah.
space. And I always joke that I think I was Asian in a past lifetime.
I
because
love
they're
it.
so obsessed with meaning and numerology and
Yeah.
respect and culture. So
Totally.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lively,
So that's the
you
story
sold
of Lively.
that. Then get Gorgy.
Yes.
Why the hell would you get into energy drinks? And before you say why, it's funny because when she gave me this, I was like, oh, it's so weird. I've actually never tried your product yet. Everyone else I know has.
Yes.
And when I tasted it, the taste doesn't taste like cheap or fake.
Yes, yeah.
It tastes like an elevated, this is the best way I can explain it.
Oh.
The best version of those horrible energy drinks that men drink, but without the cheapy flavor
Yes.
and better ingredients. That's how I explain it.
From your lips to the next marketing campaign.
I'm like, wait, this actually, because the male energy drinks,
They're
the
like
Celsius, in
faux
my
sugar
opinion,
bombs.
it tastes like a sugar crack drink.
Right, right. Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah, it's just different. You know, I tell people I really believe in this concept that there's soda. Like if you think about the soda category, right? There's Coke, there's Diet Coke, and then there's Poppy. Poppy's modern soda.
I like Olipop.
and I love Olipop.
Love Olipop.
Oh
My
God.
kid's obsessed with
I
it too.
secretly love their grape. I think I'm the only one.
Yeah, probably. I like the orange and
Oh, the orange
cream
is amazing.
soda.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
good.
No one likes grape.
No, I know. I like love grape. Nobody else loves grape. So modern soda is now $1.7 billion, which is crazy. That category grew like 50+% last year. And I say the same thing for energy. You have Red Bull and Monster. You have diet energy, which is like Celsius, Alani, and so forth with like,
Is that considered diet? I didn't even know that.
I call them diet because they use erythritol and sucralose and taurine, just like an aspartame in Diet Coke.
Oh, damn.
Right? And then there's modern energy, which is using like more natural ingredients. It's green on the Yuga app, can be sold in Whole Foods. Like all the things that Poppy and Olipop unlocked in soda, we're unlocking in energy. Now, like, how did I get obsessed with energy? That is
Yeah.
like a very interesting
The
story.
New York entrepreneur obsessed with energy? No way. That's so weird.
So weird. I drink energy drinks since like RBV days and like, you know, New York City at a club, Red Bull vodka days. Like,
100%.
just like didn't really think about energy drinks at all.
Yeah.
But after Lively, my family and I moved to Florida in January of
I
2022.
was gonna say you moved here way earlier than everyone else kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, we were like late and early at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
You know, my kids were just like they love sports. They love being outside. We went on one vacation and they were like crying when we left Florida because they're like, "Mom's in the water. We're outside till sunset." We're like,
My
"Whatever,
son's
let's go."
Crazy about it too.
Yeah.
Florida's the best for kids.
And so, talking about signs, we were gonna move to Palm Beach. We stopped in Boca, and I saw a statue at the Boca Resort. And the statue was literally the same statue that was at the subway stop where Danny and I would pass Lydia
No
back and
way.
forth. And I looked at him and I was like, I mean, we live here now.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And so we bought a house literally in a neighborhood across the street from where the statue was. And I started to think about, am I going to sit on boards? Am I going to play tennis? Am I going to, like, what am I doing right now in
Like the Florida, like what
Yeah.
move are we gonna really make? Yeah.
So I did what every founder does. I started 3 companies. I was like, Web3 with MCG. Welcome to my new podcast. What the hell is Web3? Let's talk about
Michelle, I
that.
love you. You're
Number 2,
hilarious.
I'm like, the sock category is like really terrible. We should make a really cool sock brand. So I just like went to North Carolina and
Yeah.
like drove to factories
Yeah.
that I like found online and created a sock brand called All for Francis, which was my middle name, Francis. And then I was creating a cellular renewal brand called Gorgeous Humans. And the idea there was like NAD, like all these like amazing things for longevity and cellular renewal. I became obsessed with.
Same.
And I was like,
It's
I'm
fun space too. It's a really
so
fun
good.
space.
I was like early though, because nobody understood what I was like. What's NAD? What are these things? Like in 2022, I was like explaining
Which
so
is
much.
such a shame because it's such a game changer.
Yeah, now it's really great. And then I was like surveying everyone. I was like, what if we made vanity candy? What if
you put NAD in this?
I can? Yeah. And Gorgie came about because I went from Gorgeous Humans to vanity candy to everyone saying, look, Michelle, we just want to drink it. Like we love the idea of benefits in your body, but like we want to drink it. We don't want to do the work with powders. We don't want to trust like a candy. We want to drink. And I was like, ready to drink? That's like so hard and so expensive.
Is it expensive?
It is because
I
like
know
you're
nothing about the
shipping
space.
something that's so heavy. So the light bulb started to go off honestly because I was in Florida. I started to see energy drinks in everyone's hands. People that are working outside, teachers, fitness influencers, everywhere I went, I was like, God, I see these energy drinks everywhere. I can't believe there's one.
I guess I see like Celsius and Alani,
Alani, yeah.
everywhere.
Exactly.
Like in berries and stuff like
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, where's the one for me?
Sure.
You know? And I started to have that deja vu feeling that I had in lingerie, that I had in socks. And I was like, there's just like not a brand for me. So then I started reading the earnings reports on the category and I was like, holy shit, like 25 billion plus sold in this country. And Red Bull and Monster still have the market share that they do. And Monster's like worth over 60 billion
No,
at the
it's
time.
not.
Oh yeah. The
That
market
is
cap
insane.
is insanity. And then I read Celsius.
And they taste,
and that earnings report
excuse
was
my
amazing.
language, like shit, in my opinion.
It's just like so different, right?
Yeah.
And so I went to Whole Foods and I was like, I got to go buy Celsius and Alani and these brands that are trending on TikTok is better for you.
Sure.
And they couldn't sell them to me in Whole Foods. And then I get like really OCD and I like go to the woman that works at Whole Foods. I'm like, where's your energy drinks? And she's like, we can't sell those. I was like, any of them? She's like, no, they don't meet our health requirements. And I was like,
You're like, there it is.
and literally in the aisle, it's like the spotlight goes on over your head. And I was like, this
There it is.
it. And so we put that on TikTok. We were like, what if we made an energy meets wellness drink? And it was 100,000 likes in like 10 days. And people are not just like, do it. They're like, what's the flavor? What's the color? It just like went right into community first.
I think with all the women that follow me, that listen to you, that follow the brand, whatever, a lot of them are very entrepreneurial. They're all obsessed with mindset, identity, confidence,
Totally.
how to do what we're doing, right?
Right.
And on this journey, I think something that you and I have really mastered
Yeah.
is the art of understanding white space.
Yeah.
And the art of understanding what is missing, right?
Totally.
For women. I think
Totally.
men are really talented at mastering that in male dominated spaces. I think
Yeah.
women are starting to slowly creep up to that.
Totally.
As an entrepreneur yourself, if there is a woman that's listening to you or me or whomever,
Yeah.
and they want to be an entrepreneur, how would you recommend them searching and stalking essentially the white space in the category that they
Totally.
desire?
Our intuition is like no other as women, and we ignore it. I think like I always tell people like when you get butterflies in your belly over something or your heart starts to race, that's a sign that you should stop and pause and ask yourself why. Why? And then
You speak like you've been studying Kabbalah for years.
seriously?
I'm telling you, Michelle, I'm like freaked out. I'm like, there's no way that this woman has never studied spirituality like this.
Wow.
The way you're speaking about, and I'm going to prove it to you
Yeah.
after here, but the way you're speaking to the pausing, looking for signs, coincidences, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's very
I
strange.
love
I
this.
just had to stop you, but continue.
I think your body is like winking at you and being like, hey, like this is something so interesting. Like be curious about it. And then I think often we don't take that next step where like, okay, we acknowledge and we figured out what was like the tickle in your belly about, but then talk to somebody about it. Ask somebody, right? And then my ask somebody turns into Google surveys and I get like extra creepy and excited where I'll just like make a survey on my phone and then I'll send it to like my friends and family and be like, send this to your coworkers. Like, I don't even want you to answer it. I want 2 degrees of separation.
Beautiful.
To know if anyone else feels the same way. And sometimes it's a hard no. And sometimes it's like, whoa, that's so interesting. Yeah, why? Right. And I think the white space is often places that feel too big and too structured to tackle, right? Like, I mean, think about the energy drink space, $25 billion held by Monster and Red Bull. What an incredible accomplishment. Like, who's going up against that? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Look at Victoria's Secret, a multi-billion-dollar company with 35 to 40% market share of 13 billion. Who's going up against that? Like, why not?
Why not? Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
men do it all the time. Why not women?
Yeah. And the world, like, it sounds so cheesy and hokey. It's changed so much just since I've been on Earth.
Sure.
Like, like Amanda and I were in the car, she's on our team. She's a wonderful. And I was just like talking about like how when I met Danny, like there was no dating online.
No.
Like you just met boys in a bar or at a
No.
wedding or like some other random place.
Or what
But,
about
like,
the fact now that if you want to build a business, you can go on Claude AI or chat and get stats and get numbers and pull.
crazy?
I mean, you can pull. I have agents within AI
Yeah.
that help me build out whether it's content or decks or whatever. Like we used
Totally.
to spend hundreds. Please explain to everyone how much money you had to spend in order to get these stats, these numbers, these decks.
Insanity.
The design, remember, we had to like build
Insanity.
out, we had to hire people to build out decks to
Totally.
make it aesthetically pleasing, to sound like we knew what the hell we were talking about.
Yes. And then print them.
And then
my
print
first
that.
job, I would like run up and down the building and we would like fight over copiers because we're like, I need 50 copies by the morning. And we'd be like, I'm just going to go back after the bar at like 9 or 10 p.m. and print them.
So then that actually takes me to the other question I have. There's women listening to us and saying, yeah, but I don't have the money.
You don't need it. You got to start with first like intuition and then you create the FOMO. And this is when people will start to rally around you and the funding and the money and the opportunities will start coming towards you. And, I think like a lot of entrepreneurship just starts with this like general belief that starts within you. And once you believe it, it just starts to permeate and like this aura starts to create around you. Like I'll tell the story of Gorgie, which is like very much illustrates this. Gorgie was an idea in August, right? And that Labor Day weekend, I was like, this is a $1 billion company. Like I was in my house creating a mood board that is so terrible and has like streamer gazoos from like a birthday party and straws and pictures of Penny Lane from Almost Famous and like all these things that I was feeling. I just like printed and found and put them on a board. And I told my sister-in-law, I was like, I just created a $1 billion company. And I was like, you should quit your job. She's like, you're so insane.
She thinks you're crazy still?
I mean, now she probably does.
I would have been like, okay, let's go, babe. Let's go.
And then I took it a step forward and we just started creating, I found Erica, who's amazing and understood TikTok, and she started helping me build TikTok. And then we had these mood boards that we printed postcards at FedEx. And then we made stickers that said Gorgie Girls of Philly, because I said to my mother-in-law, like, there's this trade show in Philadelphia that's for beverage. I want to go.
Yeah.
Can I meet your next door neighbor, Gab? She just graduated from college. Like, what if I had a happy hour with her and her friends?
Cute.
So then I invited Gab to a happy hour with her and her friends, put Gorgie, which was in a glass bottle,
Yeah.
postcards and stickers on them, and took pictures. Took that to the Ritz-Carlton the next day where everyone in beverage was staying for this beverage conference and met everyone. And it wasn't because I had something amazing. I had something that was like so terrible, but I believed in it so much that when the guys that created body armor, like the C-suite. They're like, who are you? What are you doing here? I was like, I'm making the next energy drink brand that's going to be $1 billion and it's going to be female first. And they're like, whoa. And then they would introduce me to someone else and then someone else. And literally, like, we took over a trade show with FedEx postcards and stickers.
Is there anyone else that I believe I would know this? I'm in like the female sector significantly, but is there any female focused energy drink else out there that's like you? I don't even think there is.
I don't think that's like authentically female first. It's kind of like Victoria's Secret was for women, but it was actually created by men.
But by men, and then they put the women in the limelight. Yeah, that's so interesting. Now that I think about it, I don't think that there is.
Yeah, there isn't.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is actually like, it's more than just creating one of a kind in energy, but it's actually much deeper than that. It's one of a kind in female, actual female first, where you can sit with fashion and style and fitness and motherhood and family and sports, right? But like with a female lens, and I think female first is always female only, but it's not female only. It's female first, it's female
right?
first, but it's not female only.
Right. Yeah. Like men create brands all the time. Like Tesla's not just for men just because it was created by men.
100%.
Right? Like most brands that were created by men are dual gender. And I think women should really own that. It's like we can create something with our lens for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, for the right consumer, the man would also respect the ingredients, right? I think people are really looking at ingredients.
For sure.
I know that I've always been obsessed, even when I was a young girl.
Yeah.
I really went off my body, how I felt off something, not like the marketing, not the packaging. Like I'm very, very sensitive.
I'm like,
so the first thing I did was I picked it up and I looked at the ingredients.
Yes.
And for me, that's what's actually really interesting. I would love to see though NAD in this.
Yes.
That would be fun.
There's a sequel coming.
Yeah. I was like, wait, because you're so well versed in that as well. That'd be fun to get that.
Totally.
And
it's
more
possible.
of a clean, like pure,
Yes.
Yeah, energy drinks are no longer what we used to buy in the gas station.
No.
And it was like back and all you really had was Red Bull. I never touched that, not once. Even when I was in college, I'd tell people, I said, something about this is shady. I think it's super dangerous. I think there's something not right about it. And now they got into all these really, really bad situations where the ingredients matter. Ingredients are key.
Oh my God, I was drinking it like Kool-Aid, so I was not as smart as you.
Wow.
I was in New York and I was like,
with like
after work.
vodka Red Bull. That's what everyone drinks.
And it's like 4 a.m. You're like, wow, I'm not tired.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Yeah, anything that makes you feel cracked out, right? Anything like that. Because when I was in nursing school, the one time I ever took a pill, which I still this day regret, but I learned so much. I was in nursing school. I wanted to try because I was very into like the beauty aesthetics. I still am.
Yeah.
And I tried it. I hated it because it required like, you need to have a certain type of brain to become a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer. You just need a certain type of brain. And I'm more entrepreneurial.
Right.
And the 2 weeks that I was on Adderall, I said, I cannot believe people live like this.
I've never taken Adderall.
I cannot believe people live like this. This does not feel right. And any drink that makes you feel shaky, weird, jittery, major red flag to no longer drink it.
Totally. And I have a heart condition that I just learned about a couple years ago. So for me, I like couldn't mess around. It had to be actually, better for you and something that I was confident in. And the idea of green tea, like I used to wake up to coffee. I have a coffee machine in my bedroom. Like woke up to a coffee bar.
That's so New York.
Like I know, so New York. Now we don't even have coffee in our house. Like we don't even drink coffee.
Did you switch to matcha?
No, I just drink Gorgie.
Nice.
Yeah, I have protein, in the morning, like a protein shake. I have Trevani because I love Melanie.
Yeah, I met her I spoke at JP Morgan. She's lovely.
Oh, she's so lovely.
She's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's like such a little I don't know. She's just.
Oh my God, she's like a butterfly.
Yeah, like I don't. How do you explain her?
She's a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, you're so lovely.
Yeah, she's a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, she made a beautiful product.
Going back to your question for women, though, I think it's the inertia that we create. Like the inertia of this conversation, the inertia of like what happened at the Ritz in Philly. Like even that trade show, I sat next to an amazing guy. He ended up being, he was working for Forbes, and he's like, look, Michelle, he's like, I can get you a press pass to the show tomorrow because I didn't even have a ticket to the show. He's like, if you make an introduction for me. And I was like, score. I'm like, oh my God, I get to go to the trade show now. Cause I met him. And I think that's like the one thing as humans that we forget, which is our greatest asset, is human connection. It's just human connection. Just like talk to people, smile at them. You never know, like not selfishly what that could lead to, but it's going to like create a flicker in your heart that's going to create energy that's going to carry you forward and create more inertia. Like this morning, this is so like cheesy and
I love cheesy.
Oh, it's so bad. I landed from Minneapolis last night. Like
Yeah.
I got home like midnight, so tired. And I was so excited for today. And I said to my husband, I was like, can you do me a huge favor? Will you go for a walk with me at 7 a.m? And he's like, oh, okay, fine. So literally the alarm goes up at 7. We don't even speak. We get outside. It's raining. We're both have hats on and we just like hold hands and start walking. He's like, this doesn't suck. I'm like, see, this is
What
so
a
nice.
cutie.
And like, we just started to like connect. And I was like, I just knew I needed to walk because I want to bring the right energy to Liz and the day and just the earth and the palm trees and like everything around us. Like that's going to get me set for the day. But like, it's so cheesy and annoying, but it's like what we have to do to create the inertia.
It's mindset. It's mindset over everything because the way you start your day, I used to, by the way, I never had a morning routine.
Yeah.
I just hit the ground running. I was like, oh, that stuff is stupid.
Right.
It actually wasn't until a few years ago that I started to take spirituality, mindset, identity really seriously.
Yeah.
Understanding the neuroscience behind it. Ooh. And then once I understood that and implemented it into my life, that's when I started to see miracles.
Yes.
Versus just waking up frantically, manically,
chasing the day.
Chasing the freaking day and then getting irritated with your kids because you're just chasing and running and just not present. So even just something like that, taking a freaking walk alone with a partner, something
20
to
minutes.
just start the day correctly.
Totally.
I think that's really powerful.
Totally.
And you do find moments like, for those that don't know, Florida, it's actually hurricane season.
Yeah, it's like rain.
It's pretty much
not
raining
awesome.
randomly all the time. But I got caught in the rain with my son. My son's 6. And the other day he's like, it's raining, Mom. You're so annoying. Like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, wait, pause. How beautiful is it that we're getting to experience this and we're not rushing to anything right now. Just enjoy the freaking moment.
And it feels good. Like I have to say, like this morning, it was like refreshing and like so nice. Smells good.
Yeah.
Like,
Florida's
great.
so amazing.
It's so good.
It's so crazy because I went to college in Florida. That's how I met Zat Dugo's brother. That's how we all became friends.
I love him.
And I was like, oh, I hate Florida. I'll never come back here. And it's funny, a spiritual law states that when you say you'll never do something, you actually end up going through it again.
For sure.
But moving back here, it's so powerful to be by the water that you can actually swim in.
Yeah.
The weather, the energy, the people.
I was
something
meant to
really
live here.
special about Florida.
Yeah, I was meant to be here.
Yeah,
It's the
and with an
best.
energy drink too.
Yes.
I want to, because I want to be mindful of time, because I know people listen
Yeah.
to this on the way to work or in the car. There is a woman listening to this right now who has no idea what she wants to do with her life. She wants to be entrepreneurial like us. She's inspired. She doesn't know where to start.
Right.
Share with her something that you really felt like during the process you could have done a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because obviously building businesses, we do things really well, and then there's things that we learn along the way. What's something that you learned that was, if there was something catastrophic, that you wish someone had kind of been like, hey, don't, do this?
Yeah. I would say 2 things. Number one, the concept of progress over perfection, I think is something like I've learned really well in the last couple of years. Like with Lively, I was so precious and I was just like, had to approve every single post, caption, tag, like every element. And I was like slowing it down, but also like not letting my team just like grow and thrive and like almost bloom like a tulip. Like just like let them open and like let them build this brand with me, not, alongside of me is the right way to say it, right? And I think the other thing is like surround yourself with the right people at all costs. Like if you feel the energy of someone is off, whether it's an investor or a new hire or something, like don't do it. Don't do it. Like use your intuition, because when you are inherently know in your gut, you're like something's off, but the paper's right and this is right and the number's right, and you do it, and then inherently in the end you're like, well, that just cost me a year or cost you whatever.
I knew already.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you knew. And then I would say lastly is like enjoy the journey, because like time is our greatest asset. And like now, oh my God, I cry all the time. I cry like so happy for things that like I'm actually like trying to not cry during this podcast.
But I have women cry here all the time.
Oh,
and it makes me cry. I'm like, damn, we get deep because it's important.
It's important. But like that's the emotion of being a human, is you should cry, you should laugh, you should do all of these things. And like I think as founders, we're often like feel like we need to be like robots, like the head of a public company or no, we should be like messy and creative and chaotic and Like I got in the car today in track pants and sneakers, like dressed on the top, disaster on the bottom, because I just knew my body needed to relax for a
Sure,
minute, right?
sure.
So I think the human machine that we are is like the greatest thing that you can nurture with love, with sleep, with water, with all these things. It's like growing the most beautiful flower.
Yeah, and self-respect.
Totally.
Self-respect for sure.
Totally.
And I think that's what you're helping others do.
Yeah.
You are so amazing. Where can everyone find you on social,
Oh, thank you.
professionally and personally? Even though they're rather tied, but
Yeah, Gorgie is getgorgie.com, Get Gorgie on social, and I'm the _Michelle Grant.
amazing. Thank you for being here. This was so nice. Thank you.
So great.